Friends and neighbors, James Madison, who was the primary author of our Constitution, once said, quote, "The preservation of a free government requires not merely that the metes and bounds which separate each department of power be invariably maintained, but more especially that neither of them be suffered to overleap the great barrier which defends the rights of the people. The rulers who are guilty of such encroachment exceed the commission from which they derive their authority, and are tyrants. The people who submit to it are governed by laws made neither by themselves nor by an authority derived from them, and are slaves. Sadly, we have allowed criminals posing as our representatives to overleap the Great Barrier and unlawfully merge the U.S. into a New World Order, a world having a supranational authority to regulate world commerce and industry, an international organization that would control the production and consumption of oil, an international currency that would replace the dollar, a world development fund that would make funds available to free and communist nations alike, and an international police force to enforce the edicts of the New World Order. By definition, this will be a global prison operating under humanism, the religion of tyrants. President Obama described the New World Order as a, quote, international order we have worked for generations to build, end quote, and concluded by saying, quote, progress can only come when individuals surrender their rights to an all-powerful sovereign, end quote. He also said ordinary Americans must surrender to the New World Order because they are too small-minded to govern their own affairs. That's the bad news. The good news is that our nation's founders left us the tools to right these wrongs and to hold the criminals accountable. It is up to us to wisely use them. By uniting, not in body, but in spirit and action, we can hold those responsible for overleaping the Great Barrier accountable and ensure all levels of government, federal, state, county, and local, are in full compliance with the U.S. Constitution, thereby restoring to the states and the people the sovereignty and liberty guaranteed them. This is a pledge made by 30 Republican governors in 1994, and a goal every patriotic American should support. Together we can satisfy this goal, and for the benefit of all the world's people. We must satisfy it, for as America goes, so goes the world. To do so, we need to honor Midori Severi's advice, saying, quote, until we abandon our manifold private agendas and unite, we will merely be hapless observers standing at the bottom of a dark, deep pit, wistfully hoping to save the world, but really doing little more than breaking the fall of compatriots who are pushed in on top of us. Only by uniting in a common effort devoid of subjective paradigms will we be able to mold the human spirit upon which we may ascend to freedom, end quote. We will also need to honor Galloon Pitt's advice, saying, quote, every meeting, every conference, every conversation is a failure that does not produce an army. The first requisite of an army is to subscribe to service, end quote. Please go to www.friendsoflibertyunited.com and join the army, for together we can and will restore our republic.